Governor Rauner discusses the recent bombings in New York City and New Jersey after a meeting with the International Association of Bomb Technicians and Investigators. At a following press conference, the governor discusses progress made in the state budget negotiations and the state's information technology services. This runs about 15 minutes.
Be here with you this morning. It's an honor for me to work for you. God bless you. My most important job is to work with you to keep the people of Illinois safe. Nothing more important. I want to say thank you to every one of you in this room. God bless you. You guys put your personal safety at risk. You put your lives on the line to keep the people of Illinois and the people of America safe. Thank you. We owe you an incredible debt of gratitude. Our police officers, firefighters, emergency medical personnel, all first responders. Thank you. This war on terror, this battle with evil people trying to do evil things, kill, hurt innocent people. It's been going on for decades, and it's going to go on for a long time. There are evil people working on American soil, trying to hurt innocent Americans. There are evil people working in almost every country, trying to hurt innocent families, to impose their will on free people around the world. You guys are first line of defense against their actions. Thank you for your dedication to sharing, working to improve your efforts, sharing ideas, networking, exchanging information, exchanging technologies, working together. It's the way we're eventually going to win this war. You guys are doing it. Thank you. These terrorists, they know no boundaries. Boundaries don't mean anything to them. They'll work everywhere, any place, anytime. And we've got to be ready. We just saw it again, tragically again, in New York and New Jersey just now. So at the Boston Marathon, we've seen it in France and in Brussels and in London and in Spain and in Asia. These evil people are everywhere. We've got to stay vigilant. We've got to stay coordinated. We're very blessed in the state of Illinois. We've got an incredible police force, incredible first responders, and very sophisticated statewide terrorism and intelligence center working with you and for you. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Look forward to coordinating very closely with you. God bless you. Thank you. Obviously, we were looking forward to getting together with you this morning to mostly talk about state government transformation. The events over the weekend, tragedy in New York and New Jersey, just highlights the importance of this meeting here today. We're honored to have the International Association of Bomb Technicians and Investigators meeting here in Springfield for the first time in a long time. This organization's been in existence since 1973. These are police officers and first responders from around the Midwest, and it's an international association, and we've got, I think, one or two folks from outside the U.S. even here as well. This war on terrorism is never ending. It's been going on for decades. It is likely to continue for decades. And these terrorists know no boundaries. They have no respect for human life. And there are evil people here in America and around the world seeking to hurt and kill innocent people. We've got to stay vigilant. We have no indications of any imminent threats in the state of Illinois, but we are encouraging and reminding everybody to stay vigilant. If you see something suspicious, please contact law enforcement right away. And we are keeping our Illinois State Police and our statewide Terrorism and Intelligence Center active and in coordination with federal authorities, and as well as with local law enforcement officials as well. We just all need to stay vigilant and remind ourselves this battle with terrorists, it's every day. This does not end, it does not go away. We just got to stay vigilant. With that, I'll just touch on two other subjects, then we can do questions. First, we're very proud to announce that Illinois is one of only 3 states that is improved in their information technology services a full grade level by the center that evaluates technology use in state government. We went from a pretty lousy C level grade to a B level grade. a full grade point. No other, only 2 other states improved that much. We've got a long way to go, but we're making great strides to increase productivity, effectiveness, accountability, transparency in our state government. As you know, we brought in Hardik Bhatt as our Information Technology Director. He created the Department of Information, Innovation and Technology, and we consolidated those efforts. And already we've dramatically improved our capabilities with information technology and data. We've increased our cybersecurity levels. We've increased mobile applications. We've got now our Department of Professional Regulation is doing things more online and also with mobile phones. And we're leading a transformation in virtually every department. This is very important to increase the long-run value for taxpayers and provide higher level, higher quality government services. So we're very pleased with this announcement, and we're going to keep up the strong effort in our information technology work. Also, proud to say, it's a small step in the right direction. We've completely abolished the staff assistant position in IDOT. In one sense, you say that, well, that's, so what? It's just, the staff assistant position was created for patronage purposes. Really had no real benefit to the people of Illinois, taxpayers or those who receive government services. We're glad to finally have removed all the remaining people who were illegally hired in the patronage scheme run by prior governor administrations. And we're just going to continue the work. We want to expand the work of the Executive Inspector General, continuing to look in every department for positions that should not be in existence and for existence of people who are hired not for the right reasons. They were hired for patronage or political reasons, not to provide high quality government services. We've got to continue the work. These are just small steps we're announcing now. They're in the right direction, but we've got a lot of work to do to clean up government and make sure that our systems, our agencies are working for the people and the taxpayers, not for political purposes.
Governor, at the end of the day, that staff position is just a title.
Right.
Do you have any idea how many of those people who were hired are still within state government who maybe moved on to other positions?
Well, patronage hiring has been going on in state government for decades. This is I'll tell you a quick story. When we first came in our administration, I wanted to bring in people who had expertise in Illinois government, but I wanted to bring in people from outside who had a fresh perspective. So we brought in some business people. We brought in leaders from other states and other state governments. The COO from Georgia, the Director of Children and Family Services from Florida, Head of Corrections from Iowa, Head of Legal for Mitch Daniels from Indiana. We brought in people from around the nation. Every one of them came to me within the first 2 weeks and said, "Wow, Governor, first of all, you didn't tell us it was this bad." And then secondly said, "We're stunned. This is not how government should be run. Illinois, these departments seem to be set up for political purposes, not for providing services to the people and to work for the taxpayers." Every one of them said that. In changing that culture and trying to root out the folks who are there for the wrong reasons, it's hard. Obviously, there are employment protections in place under existing contracts and labor rules, and we can't move very quickly. As you know, getting rid of the illegal IDOT hires took, how long has it been? Several years. Change is hard, but we've just got to stay vigilant on it. The reality is, job titles can come or go. The key is to look underneath. What is that person really doing? Is it necessary, and are they there for the right reasons? And it takes a lot of work to sort that out.
Where else are these jobs at? What other departments? What other departments are you looking at?
Virtually every department.
And you said the Inspector General there. Is he actively pursuing?
She's our Executive Inspector General. She's got limited resources right now. In fact, one of the things that we put into our budget was another $600,000 to expand her staff. Obviously, we haven't had a real budget, so that's been slower than we'd like, but we got to find the resources. We need to expand her work to really try to clean out the departments and identify the folks who are there for the wrong reasons and see what we can move them out.
What is the complication? Is this part of your dealings with AFSCME, or what's the complication in rooting these people out if they shouldn't be there?
Well, so you have to go down below. You can't just look at the titles of people. You got to go underneath and look at what they're really doing and when they were brought in and for what purpose, and just make sure that they're actually there for productive work for the people and the taxpayers. A lot of times people were hired because they had worked on they're for political purposes. And so sorting that out is not easy. You've got to go down deep and really investigate and interview and whatnot. And our hands are somewhat tied because of the labor contracts, but we'll work through that.
On the computer technology thing, do you know how much has been spent on new computers, or is that part of it, new hardware, or what's the situation?
Yeah, there's a amount of spending. It's some new hardware. It's a lot of new software. We announced 4 new apps that we rolled out in July, and we're rolling out a new app, mobile applications, different digital applications every month. So a lot of it's software development as well.
The State Board of Elections had a fairly high-profile breach of cybersecurity. You talked about upgrades. What is this Department of Innovation Technology doing to help the State Board of Elections make sure those databases?
Well, we've offered to help. They are not under our purview. They're not part of our government. They're not part of my administration, so we can't directly control that. I know Hardick and his staff have offered to give advice and assistance to their efforts as they've requested. Obviously, we want to do everything we can to safeguard the integrity of our voting system.
But budget has been an issue.
Technology. Can you respond to Ron Sandak last week saying that he was a victim of a large extortion scheme online?
I really can't comment on that. I don't know all the facts.
As the head of the Republican Party, are you yet able to say who you're going to vote for president? We hear you said you were voting for Trump at a crowd.
No.
You won't say, why won't you say as the leader of the party?
I'm not going to comment on the presidential race. I'm very focused on Illinois. As you guys know,
Isn't that a cop-out?
We need big reform in the state of Illinois. We need to grow more jobs, we need to protect our taxpayers, and we especially need to reform our political system through term limits and fair maps. That's where I'm focused.
I hate to bring up the A word, but with every day that passes on, we're getting closer to the lawmakers coming back. I mean, are the budget talks ongoing? Do they expect something long-term when they go?
Well, we have not been in real negotiations with the leaders on the other side of the aisle, but I have been, and our administration staff has been in communication with rank and file lawmakers in both caucuses, discussing budget items, revenue items, reform items, and I remain cautiously optimistic that during the lame duck session we might be able to come to a grand compromise. We're certainly going to try to do that. This election really matters because there's a very clear choice for the people of Illinois. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it really doesn't matter. Are you going to support the status quo, or are you going to support reform? And we clearly need to go in a different direction. And folks who argue that our proposals on reforms are extreme or hurting some class or whatever, it's just not true. That's political spin. It's common sense. The vast majority of Democrats and Republicans support term limits. The vast majority of Democrats and Republicans support fair maps. Even our Attorney General, who is a strong Democrat, she has said that we need causation in our workers' comp system, and that's the #1 thing pushing our manufacturing jobs out of Illinois. Everybody wants us to get a handle on our property taxes, and the best way to do that is through local control combined with a property tax freeze. Nothing unusual or extreme about our proposals. We need them. And pension reform, we desperately need pension reform of all our pensions in a fair, constitutional way. And I've agreed to do what President Cullerton, leader of the other side of the aisle, has proposed. I'm willing to do that as a step in the right direction. These are common sense things, they're bipartisan things, and we need to do them. We have to stop the political spin and actually get reforms done.
So is the Madigan film your idea or Tillman's idea, or did you discuss it with him?
If not.
While you were interviewing candidates to replace Matt Murphy?
I've heard as much about this film or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. I've heard about it as much as you have. I don't know anything about it.
You didn't talk to Tillman about it at all?
I heard about it when you did.
Governor, a judge in Connecticut just gave their legislature 6 months to overhaul the education funding system there. How confident are you that your commission can reach its February 1st deadline, and if not, does the state face a possible lawsuit like has been seen in Connecticut?
Well, I ran for governor in large part to dramatically improve public education in Illinois. We have been the worst state in America for state support for public K-12 schools for decades, and 4 times in the prior 10 years to me becoming governor, the legislature cut school funding. It's atrocious what we've done to our public schools. I will fight. I'm going to try to have them beat their deadline and not just wait till February. I'd like to get the report from this task force, this commission working on education funding reform, get it done before February, and I'd like to have that be part of our grand compromise, if we can, on a budget. I think that would be the right time to do that. We should have the best schools in America in every neighborhood, in every community, regardless of income level for families. Every child deserves a good education, and we've got to start doing that in Illinois.
Do you foresee a possible lawsuit if there's no agreement on education funding?
I don't know. I can't predict that. Well, I'm just going to fight every day to get more resources for schools. Our teachers and our students should be our first priority with our tax dollars, and they have not been our first priority with tax dollars. But we've also got to change the way we fund our schools. It's inequitable. We have the biggest gap between what low-income schools get and per student and what high-income schools get per student in public education. That's wrong. That's un-American. That denies the American dream to too many families. We're going to change it.
Yeah, Reboot
Thanks,
Illinois,
everybody.
Reboot
Thank you.
Illinois said that's mostly.